Hi, students. There have been some questions on the last problem in this problem set in lesson 49, and that's this one about the data. And so basically, you're asked to plot the data as a graph and then use your result to find a rule to model the data. Well, if we think about this being depth of water at a pier, so we're talking about tides, and you can see that the water is going up and then down and then up and then down. So we're looking at something that's periodic. Odds are it's going to be sine or cosine. And so you could plot the data either in Desmos or you could use your calculator. And I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to do this. And so what I'm going to do is in my calculator, I'm going to start by adding a list. And my list, I'm going to call the first one T. And the second list I'm going to call D for hours and depth. And then I'm just going to put in my data. 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33. And then I'll put in all of the different depths. So 16.2, 17.49, 5.1, 15.34, 15.13, 16.8, 17.42, and 15.89. Okay, and just a quick check that my rows match. I've got 12 data points. Now I'm going to go in and control to add a page, and this time I'm going to add data and statistics. And I can see here that I've got my points. It looks a little bit funny, but if I come over here and click to add variable, well, that's going to be my dependent variable, so that's my depth. Over here, I'm going to click and add my time. And now I've got my points nicely laid out in a way that I would expect. And I can see that I've made an error in my data. So I'm going to go back to that page. So that was at about 24, and it should have been 15.13, not 13.13. All right, so that looks better. It looks a little bit high, so it'd be nice to pull this graph down a little bit. There we go. That's when we say scaling your graph, this is better. I like to see all my points. So 15.727, yep, that matches. This first one, 17.49, so this definitely looks like my max. And if I was going to calculate this by hand, I would use this as my max. It looks like I've got a min here at 14.98. And you can see over here that I looked at my data wrong. I thought 17.42 was my max, but actually I've got a max over here. And so this is telling me that time between my max and my min is 6 hours, which leads me to believe my period's around 12 hours. And so I could use that to help me find my B value when I'm modeling. So looking back at this, I could also say it looks like a sine curve to help me make my graph. And the way that I can get my calculator to find that regression for me is I can go to Menu and Analyze, Regression, and this one would be a sinusoidal regression. And then it gives me my equation up here. So that's how you use your calculator to do this. And then using my model to predict the next high tide, well, I would want to slide my graph out so that I can see where my next maximum is. I could also use my equation and solve my equation to find where the next max value is. All right, so that's using your calculator, and I hope that was helpful.